Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure. This is Get Back to Work and we're playing Derail Valley, where the game has been suggested, the topic has been suggested, and I'm going to talk about the topic while playing the game. I've decided to take on this freight haul out to Steel Mill. I've not really evaluated it, other than that I should be able to do it. Si, senor. Then I'm going to talk about a topic that's been suggested by Lee. And it's a good topic, but I'm going to veer wildly away from the topic. Right, I've got 4 wagons to acquire, accumulate from East 50, or E5 out. This is the in section. No, there you go. E5 out is over here, so it's probably going to be those 4 there, given it's a 4 wagon caper. Let's zip down the track. Brace yourselves. Yeah, I know. I'm taking 4, and I imagine it's these. Let's just check. CBK 942 through to 811. Yeah, that's the stuff. Right, let's go find myself a little choo-choo, and then let's get out of here. Little choo-choo. There was a little choo-choo around here somewhere. Maybe it is a little further away. Anyway, Lee has got it's quite a lengthy question, but I'm going to distill it down into the core question. No, I'm not. I'll read the whole thing. I've got a bit of wandering to do. Hi, Colonel. I'm Purple Finch, and I'd love it if you would play Derail Valley. Doing so, give us your thoughts on birdwatching and birdwatchers. Have you ever gone birdwatching or met a birdwatcher? What are your thoughts on the hobby? Are there any birds you're particularly fond of? And have you got anything particularly memorable or perhaps traumatic experiences involving a bird? This is fantastic. Looking forward to your unfiltered things. I'm laughing so much because this is exactly the kind of left field question that I was hoping for when I kicked this caper off. Just something utterly mad. Well, there you go. Birdwatching. Am I a birdwatcher? No. No, I'm not. Do I fancy being a birdwatcher? No, I don't. I have nothing against birdwatching, or indeed birdwatchers. I've got nothing against them at all. But in all honesty, it's not something that's ever really crossed my mind. But I get it. I totally get it. I mean, I completely and utterly understand what the appeal is. The brakes in here should be... Oh, the brakes weren't off. There you go. They are now. Okay, slap that in the forwards. There has been some requests to turn the dash lights on. There you go. Give it some... No. Just grab. On. There you go. So people can see the instruments and how badly I am abusing things. Thing is, which way do I actually want to go here? I might teleport. There we go. Right, so if I go past that junction and then back up, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's so lazy. And it's because people using a magic science helmet are totally incapable of movement unless they're teleporting. Right, let's trot on. So, birdwatching. Do I have any favourite birds? No, not particularly. No, I just don't. It's not something that's ever crossed my mind. There are some fantastic looking birds. A red kite, actually. I do quite like a red kite, and that's purely because I lived in Oxfordshire for a while in the UK, and red kites are commonplace in that area, and it was always quite good. You go up the M40 from the M25 up towards Oxford, and as you enter into the valley, which is called... Oh, I can't remember. There are frequently red kites all over the place. You can see them hovering around, and that's quite majestic. Birds of prey are really quite impressive to look at. And so, and learning what they're called. I used to work, when I worked for EA, we were out in Surrey, where there are honking parakeets. No less, wild parakeets. The story I heard is that they escaped from captivity and bred in the wild and got on famously out there. And that was quite nice, it's quite odd to see a parrot in Surrey, but, wasn't that odd. It wasn't so odd that you just kind of go, well, how peculiar. But that's about the size of it. So in answer to your question, no, and I'll be honest, a twitcher never come across one. That's what they're known as, twitchers, in this country anyway. Your bird watchers. But I get it. I totally get it, and it's blokes with hobbies, primarily blokes with hobbies, and I do generalise, but I saw this summarised. Years ago, I saw it summarised as a main difference between men and women, and it's part of how genders just totally how the two genders are screwed up. Let's put those who don't subscribe to the two genders to one side for the moment, because generalisations require such things. But it's screwed up because women are taught from the young age, as girls, they're taught that one day they will have one day where they are the fairy princess they've always dreamed to be, and and the horse and coaches and all of the sparkles and pink and wands and the rest of it that is being told to them in all those fairy tales. They're indoctrinated through media, through storybooks from ages old, and it goes back, of course, to the point at which the men went out and they did violent things, violent, dangerous stuff in order to put food on the table, while the women stayed home in order to look after the children, because the continuation of the species was the only thing that was really their concern. And given that there wasn't an awful lot of streaming services back in the Middle Ages, you kind of go like, well, yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do of an evening? So that's something you've got that wrong. You've got that wrong. Don't do that. Right, there you go. You need to do this bit first. And meanwhile, blokes are taught as when they're boys and as they get older, that they can go and be anything they like. And in fact, they're encouraged to do so. They can be, they can be weekend generals, or they can be scientists from the Royal Society studying birds, or they can be collecting stamps, or they can be running around a field doing Civil War reenactment, or they can be doing racing cars, or they can be doing sports of 80,000 different varieties. The point is that from ages onwards, and it's only in the 20th century that leisure time has really become something for the masses. The toffs always had leisure time because they had inherited wealth, and that was really all they needed. You see all these throwback series to toffs in the Victorian era and thereabouts and before, and you kind of go like, where do they get their money from? Maybe they all owned mills. Well, okay, I mean, that's plausible, certainly, but surely they would go down to mill at some point. No, see, no, that's your equivalent of new money. Maybe they were war profiteers. Well, that seems more plausible. Regardless, men and hobbies have always been a thing. They haven't always been a thing. Men and hobbies have been a thing for ages. Women and hobbies is a relatively new thing, and that's because we're no longer keeping the women folk downtrodden at home looking after sprogs. Now everybody looks after sprogs, and that's the way it should be. Sprog looking after is enriching. Not to mention the fact that particularly upcoming generations are having sprogs less and later. I talk from a white kind of lower middle class, privileged Western European perspective. Okay, so it's quite narrow, but there are a few of us. But regardless, women are now starting to get hobbies, and that's a very good thing, because no hobby is as good as when everyone's enjoying it, and it's not just one very narrow spectrum of people. Far more fun when you've got a good mix of people. Play any board game, and it's made so much better when you've got everybody represented there in the mix, because it just makes it more violent. Whereas with blokes, it just tends to get ultra competitive, and the testosterone levels start spiking, and you just kind of go, oh, I can't be bothered with any of that. No, no, no. Throw some women in there, and everybody's trying to impress the women. I'm not off topic because I have a very finite amount to say about birdwatching as a topic, except that it falls under the broad house of hobby. I also totally get the desire to do something outdoors. You see, bird watching sits right alongside fishing, as far as I'm concerned. Fishing, you got see. I never had an appreciation for fishing, but it took me a while before I got to the point of going, oh, I get it. I get fishing now, and part of the appeal of fishing is. You leave the house, you go down to the riverbank, or wherever, and you stay there all day, and it's just you. And the games company I work for, we've made fishing games in the past, and go on, just connect. It requires multiple licenses. Do you not need to connect to that? Oh no, you want a brake hose? There you go. It's over there. That's an additional. That's a loco hose. Right, are we all done? I had lozenge the lozenge? Right. Yeah, I know. Gone are the days where I'm trying to connect stuff up while the train's on the move. I know, we all miss it. But there you go. Right. Just open the door. If these doors would actually stay open, that would be a delight. I mean, I know you can walk through them, but that's for the magic science helmet people. I mean, you know, they can't help being handicapped. Right, we're going to go backwards, so we're going to be overheating throughout. Good times, good times. This is the way we like to play. Anything else you want to do with this before we push off? Well, let's set the gear correctly. Yep. Let's get out the big map. I don't think I've actually got the big map. Oh, no. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? Yeah. Where did you leave that? Don't know. I left it in another train. Okay. Alright, let's power off. Let's go find it. Alright, we're set up and good to go, but we can't go without a big map. Now I'm sure there's a button somewhere that will allow me to restore it, but I should go and retrieve the one that I was using before. Any idea where that is? Also, yeah, also the station handbook. And that's the station map, isn't it? Oh, it is. Yeah. This inventory system is rubbish. It's total garbage. All right, okay, I've got a station map. That's something. Yeah. Look, when I put something into inventory in slot 1, I want it to stay in slot 1. That's it. The end. That's all. Not just randomly assign this to a slot, would you? And you kind of go, yeah. Why? Why? I like the element of mystery. Right, maybe this is the in section, because the train that I came in on might still be here. Well, this is the in section, but then there's no locomotives in there. I wonder if I've permanently lost it. There must be a way of retrieving it. Yeah, the station house is probably going to have it, which is just over there. All right, okay. All right, yeah. Yeah. Right, hobbies. Yeah, so fishing. Yeah, you leave the house... you go outside, you dangle your business in the water, and maybe you get a bite, and maybe you don't get a bite. And if you know what you're doing, and presumably getting a bite is the fun bit, but I mean, I don't do it, so therefore I can't really judge. But I would imagine can I nick this map? No. Oh, yeah. Surely there must be some sort of workers' lockers area whereby spares of all your important things reside. What are you? That's just a folder. I don't want it. Okay. Yeah. I could go and re-watch my last video and figure out where I left it, but where's the fun in that? No, the element of mystery is what we're all about. I've got to have it, though, because otherwise I'll end up in the wrong place. What I could do is I could use the map inside there and write down directions. Oh, yeah, that would probably work, given that there's only one way out of the station. That's an added level of difficulty. Where are we? Harbour and Town. Oh, crikey. Yeah. Okay, so it's got a pin in it to say that we're here as well. Oh no, it depends which way you're leaving it. Yeah. Well, that's obviously route 1. It is. So you're going to want to go out. I'm going to write this down. Yeah, I am. I'm writing it down. Just in case I don't find the map. If I don't find the map and I don't write it down, I'm never going to find where I'm going to. I'll run out of fuel and then they'll be crying. Right, we're coming out. Yeah. It very much depends which side of this you come out of. But how will I know? Good question. You will know based on whether you pass a... yeah, I don't know. Oh dear. I've got to find the map. I've got to find it. Write down directions. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go out and then straight. So stay right. Yeah. That's the way I'm going to try and go. Okay, stay right. I've got a 50-50 chance of this working. Stay right and then take left fork. Left. Yeah. Yeah, stay right. Yeah. Left fork. Yeah. Round that. Stay right. Stay right. Stay right. Okay. And then right. 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 And then right into steel mill. Do you reckon this will work? No. Good. Crack on. Alright. Are you going to do any more looking? Yeah, I am. I'm going to go up this way a bit further and see if I can find another train. Loco. Because if I can, then we'll poke our nose in there. It definitely wasn't down there. I didn't park in there. Yeah. Always pick up all your stuff. No. Well, you should. You complain about the inventory and then don't bother putting anything in it. And you have but yourself to blame on this subject. Didn't we come in on, like, track 4 or some such? Are you teleporting in the right direction, teleport obsessive? Alright, is there any inns here? I think these are all outs. No, we came in over here, didn't we? Oh, I think we did. Well, there's all kinds of wagons here now. Yeah, that doesn't help, does it? That's one, that's one, that's one! Keep your fingers crossed, kids. This might work. We might be okay. This does appear to just be abandoned here. Okay, well, let's have a look. Hey, baby! Get in the inventory. No, that's just... Where have you put that? Oh, I've chucked that in number 3. Whatever. Where's it gone now? Still in number 3. Ah, that's a mystery. Right, I've got the map. Yeah, I know. I didn't think I'd find it either, but I have done. Blokes, hobbies, fishing. Yeah. Now, if you want to go the way you want to go, I suspect it's this way that you want to leave the station. We could push the wagons. Means I'll get a little bit of extra cooling. This is a really awful idea. Alright. We're going to do it anyway. Of course we are. Alright. The other way. There you go. Fire it up, please. Have I dipped... Oh, I've dipped all my switches off. Alright, okay, there we go. Engine power on. Let's go. Alright, brakes off. What are you? Are you the independent? Yeah, you're the independent. Right, okay. Yeah, let's see how we get on. Now, it's going to mean that I'm going to need to go a little bit slower. Alright. This is a good speed. This is a good speed. Alright, let's get up there. Because we're going to want to use the hoofer doofer on the end of track situation to avoid derailing. But this is a speed that I can work with. Right, grand, we're rolling. Yeah, so if you're fishing, right, you're out there, and you hang around, and maybe you get a bite, and maybe you don't get a bite. But that's not the point of it. You take the paper, you take a book, you take a mate along, and you chat occasionally. You've taken your packed lunch, and you've taken a radio, and it's a nice, uncomplicated day out, where you can forget about everything and get away from everything. And that's the other thing. It's like, you do this in your spare time, and what do? You immediately get away from your family. Well, I can certainly sympathise with that. Many has been the occasion where I've gone like, I just want to be left alone. I think I've spoken we're picking up a little bit more speed now, but it's certainly within tolerances. Many is the time I'm sure I've spoken about the agreement of holiday time, vacation time that herself and I had. She very much wanted to see the world, and that's fine. I very much didn't, and it's not because I didn't want to see different bits of the world. It's entirely because the way I've always worded it is I go to work all week in order to buy stuff to stick in my house. And then what I don't want to do with my time off is immediately go away from all the stuff that I've spent so much effort acquiring. Now, I mean, there is a certain level of truth in there, and there is also a certain level of stupidity in there as well, is that the world is out there to be seen. Anyway, she would describe it... I've gone the wrong way. Okay. We can still get there this way, right? Yeah, but your instructions that you've left for yourself are now redundant, and you are going the pretty way. No, that's okay. If you say so. Should have gone the other way, though. Then you'd be going forwards as well. No, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, all right, that's fair. All right, let's go and switch direction. Oh yeah, this is like an action movie. Just don't fall in between the bits of the train. Yeah, I think that might be a hard rule I apply on myself. Is if you fall off the train, no using teleport to get back on it. Even if that might cause a crisis of some description. We use the independent, because obviously you stick the wagons on, the loco is that much heavier, you risk flipping over the top of it. True story. Right, I want to just... No, look, you're going to need to put the map down. Well, as long as you remember to pick it back up again. Can't rule it in or out. Put that in there. Right. Now then, we're here. Yeah. Where does that go? Oh, you don't want to take this set of points. No, that leads to nowhere. So we're going straight back through the... Yeah, we are. Fine. Okay, I can live with that. Let's go. Yeah. That made sense to me. Whether it made sense to you or not, no idea. But hey, it wouldn't be an episode of Derail Valley if I didn't go entirely the wrong direction. Still found a map, and that's not a bad place to start. Yeah, that's good. How's the engine temp? Engine temp's good. Fuel is full-ish, or it would be if I hadn't used some. That's all good. I need to figure out how to fill the tank up at some point, but we'll worry about that in the fullness of time. Okay, get the door open. Yeah, birds in particular. Okay, so I mean, I've mentioned fishing in passing without going into any detail. Good for me. But let's talk about birds. Firstly, so many different species. So many different species you can look at, and you'll have the opportunity to do the classic bird watching holiday, where you go to a particular place. Actually, last time herself and I went on holiday, we went to, where did we go? Corfu, of all places. No, it was Rhodes. Rhodes was the one where we got obsessed with birds. Because we'd see these, really attractive-looking birds that certainly weren't native to the UK. So, it was stuff that we hadn't seen before. So we looked them up and we just kept seeing them every day from that point on, and it was great. It was really nice. It was just nice to see. Would I go to the extent of having a checkbook full of things that I had seen? No, because that's a level of obsession beyond my own interests. Was that the right move? Well, we want to go up this middle bit. So, presumably, this feels like the passing lane here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I'm... to the extent of, it's a rainy, miserable day and you're sat in a hide with your binoculars, your cameras and your notebook. No, doesn't appeal. Doesn't appeal. But then I need to be doing something. I am not inherently wired towards sat there. And this is something else that came up with herself and I going on holiday. Is it would take me 2 days before, and I don't doubt it still would. It'd take me 2 days before I'm properly doing holiday. The first day on holiday, I do work. Where I take a notepad. In fact, it will look just like this one. This is the one that I took last time I went. It's just sat here. But it's a but it's a big book of ideas. All of this, yeah, all of this I wrote on my last holiday. Right, so we go from here, right, and then through here. Hold on, can you see this? Yes, you can. Right, and then through here. I only write on one side of the paper because I'm left-handed, so it's less smudgy that way. And then through, you see, I wrote all of that lot while I was on holiday, and it's a way of just getting stuff out of my head. But it takes 2 days before I'm ready to just kind of sit around and let the holiday wash over me. I have to becalm myself first. Let's get the speed up a bit. We can't hang around all day, and that's fine. But the agreement we had with regard to holidays was that she would take a couple of weekends away and a couple of weeks away on herself, and I would have to go away at least one weekend and at least 1 week with her. So she'd go off and see the parts of the world that she desperately wanted to see, while I got what I really wanted was to just be left alone when nobody wanted me. The irony, of course, now is that's all I have these days. But I can't complain about it too heavily. I don't. Let's put that into a separate silo because it's a whole complicated topic, and I mean it's one I'm prepared to talk about, but it's a whole complicated topic. But hobbies, get it. I get it. I mean, if anything, jumping on a new hobby is there is an endless piece of temptation with regard to a new hobby, how fantastic, because you do all the research and you get all the stuff, and then you go and do it for the first time, and then you get more stuff, and I'm an absolute sucker for that kind of behaviour. Absolute sucker for it. Right, consult map. This feels like we're going in the right direction. Yep, take the next right that you're offered. Wilco. That was on the directions. It was on the directions, but we're now going the correct direction. How's the engine temp? Glorious. Right. Well, let's give it a little bit more oomph. Yeah. No. A bit more. Okay. That's too much engine tone. I wanted just a little bit more engine tone. There you go. That'll probably do it. What's the speed? 20. 30. I'll be comfortable with. I'll feel quite happy about 30. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on the prize and bear right when given the opportunity. You sure about that? Yeah, totally sure. Otherwise, you'll end up going down the pier, which is not what you want. You haven't bought a bag of 2p's with it. Yeah, hobbies. Yes, we've been dancing around hobbies quite a bit. I was going to go somewhere with it, but I got distracted by driving this chuffing train. So, I mean, it's the first time in all of these that I've done that I've been distracted by the game itself and lost the main thread of the conversation. Where was I going with it? I had something that was actually salient and potentially interesting. Guarantees offered, 0. Right, it's this one coming up here. Speed, 28-ish. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think this might be our right turn bearing that we want to make sure we get. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. No, it hasn't come back to me. It will, I'm sure. But given that I'm coming towards the end of the show segment here, it's hard to say for sure. So yeah, do I understand bird watching? Yes, I do. Does it interest me at all? It really genuinely doesn't. There are spectacular birds out there, and I can see a bird and go, and then 10 seconds later we go, a tree. Because trees are equally magnificent. I think, if anything, I'd be more inclined to be a tree spotter, or certainly an arbologist, an arborealist. No, it might be an arbologist. I think that's a word you made up. I think it might well be. An arborealist, an arborist. That sounds plausible. I know it's arbor, your Latin for tree. Oh yeah, I know one or two things. I'm probably wrong, but I'm pretty. That's a thing I know. Whether it's a right thing I know or not is neither here nor there. Right, what are we doing next one? Bear right again. Groovy. Okay, cool. Keep it under 40, and we're doing 20. More juice. Crank it a bit. That's the stuff. Are we grinding? Why are we grind? Stop grinding. Ease it back a smidge. Come on, get a speed up. You shouldn't have to put that much effort into it. The brakes are all off. Let's go. I know it's uphill. I know it's 4 wagons rather than 3, which is not what this train prefers. Loco, train, that kind of thing. Yeah. Alright, sand on. Let's get the speed up a bit, and then it won't wheel slip quite so badly. Keep your eye on the sand prize. Yeah, where is it? It'll be here. Sand level, sand level, sand. There isn't a sand level. I thought there was. I was sure there was a sand level dial. Yeah, it's here, look. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, we're getting the speed up. It is bringing the temperature up quite quickly. Yes, it is. Yeah, I know, but we've got a long way to go up this. Look at that lot. You've also got your Bear Right junction coming up. Alright, let's ease her back a little bit. Sand off. Thank you. Power down a smidge. I want to hear that engine tone go. Thank you. Right. Get out the WASIC, and it is set correctly. It's definitely Bear Right. It's definitely Bear Right. Definitely Bear Right. Okay, we don't have to go fast. I'm quite happy to go leisurely. I don't need the bonus payments from this stuff. I just don't want to stop. How's the engine temp? Climbing. That's undesirable. Yeah, cab light on, headlights on, fan on. Okay, horn. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, how's the engine temp? Still climbing. Have we done this correctly? Yeah, I think we have, but we've still got quite a climb ahead of us. It's good. Hobbies, yes. I'm forever attracted to a new hobby. Yeah, we've kind of covered that. Buy all the stuff. Yeah, go along for the first time, buy more stuff, then jack it all. I know where I was going. There is a wonderful show on the BBC called The Detectorists. It is arguably one of the best shows on TV from the UK in the last 10 years. The Detectorists, and it's about blokes who go out with metal detectors, and it is just fantastic. It is so easygoing and so gentle, and at the same time it is utterly spot on with regard to understanding hobby. It's won tons and tons of awards. It is absolutely fantastic. No matter where you are in the world, it's so easy to appreciate. It's funny enough. It's not out and out funny. It's funny enough. What it is just full of heart. And yeah, it's wonderful. It's a really, really wonderful show. And I recommend it for anybody who wants, who has a hobby. It will allow you to. There will be a lot of recognition in there. I'm going to ease off on the power for a minute, just to let the engine cool down while we're on a coastable section. Are we that coastable? I think we're still going uphill a little bit. All right. Well, maybe I'll give it a little tickle of power just to keep us moving. Yeah. I mean, I can park up and let the engine cool down for a bit. It's because we're going backwards. That's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's okay. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. Lee, top question, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to do it justice in terms of bird watching as the topic. But hopefully I've danced around in related don't slip backwards. No. No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to stick the train brake on. We're going to do that, and then we're going to hit this. We're going to let the train cool off, and then I'll grip it and rip it and get up this hill. I've been Colonel Failure, everybody. Are we stopped? We are stopped. Another magnificent journey is underway. And as I'm sure you can tell, there'll be another Derail Valley based Get Back to Work pretty much immediately. And therefore, we'll pick up this journey at that point. I know, I'm grabbing the screenshot. I can't help myself. I have to do it. Thanks very much for watching. If you'd like one of these, please head to wizio.com/Colonel_Failure. There is a queue of at least 3 weeks at the moment, which is great. because I really enjoy doing these, and as long as you get something out of them, then that's all good. I'll catch up with you next time. Thank you very much for watching, and cheerio.